All right, here we are with our stock dividends. Okay, now there's a couple of things they might ask for in these questions. They may ask for the total annual dividend and they may ask for the annual yield. So here are the two formulas. I would write them both down, and then when you read your questions, read carefully so you know which one they are asking for. So here's Neil Rubin. He owns 200 shares of stock. The stock ranged its price from a low of 41.50 to a high of 47.41 last year. The annual dividend was $1.80. The annual yield based on the high is what percent? Now, what did they ask for? They asked for the annual yield. So will be using this formula right here. It says the annual yield is equal to the annual dividend per share. Now, did they tell us the annual dividend? They did. The annual dividend was $1.80. We're supposed to divide that by the cost per share, but notice they gave us two numbers. The cost was $41.50 and $47.41. It says it wants the annual yield based on high, so its higher price was $47.41, so that's the number we're going to use. Okay, the cost per share at the high end was $47.41. So we take $1.80 divided by $47.41. Okay, when we do, we get 0.0379666. It wants it the number only, and it wants it rounded to the nearest tenth of a percent. So first we need to change this to a percent by moving the decimal 2 places to the right, and that gives us 3.79666. It wants us to the nearest tenth of that, which is 1 place after the decimal. So that gives us 3.7. 9 makes us round our 7 up to an 8, and we get 3.8% was the annual yield. And that was, again, based on the high. If they asked for based on low, we would have used 41.50 instead of 47.50. All right, here's a question about Frank Rogue, who owns 450 shares of Franklin Meats stocks, which he purchased for $42.60 a share. If his dividends are $1.24 a share, what is his total annual dividend? Okay, so this time they want total annual dividend, which is this value up here. So we want to make sure we use the correct formula. Okay, your total annual dividend is your dividend per share times the number of shares. Pretty straightforward. So his dividend was $1.24 and he owned 450 shares. So all we have to do is take $1.24 times 450 shares. When we do, we get 558. Right? So his total annual dividend was $558.